Very first Republican debate of the 2024 presidential election just wrapped up in Milwaukee. It was a pretty fiery night, lots of topics covered, and for the first time, a chance for all Americans to hear from and hear why the candidates who are qualified for running, their thoughts on the future. Some of the big themes of the night did include a pretty deep passion from everyone on stage, a debate about the identity and what the future of America will look like. And as the debate moderators on Fox News put it, the elephant that was not in the room, former President Donald Trump. These 8 candidates are the ones vying for the Republican nomination on the stage tonight for the debate. And the highest polling candidate there, Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis, he was at the center of that debate stage as such, but it didn't take long for the gloves to come off on both sides.
I'm the only person on the stage who isn't bought and paid for, so I can say this. The climate change agenda is a hoax. The climate change agenda is a hoax, and we have to declare independence for it. And the reality is, the anti-carbon agenda is the wet blanket on our economy. And so the reality is, more people are dying of bad climate change policies than they are of actual climate change.
Governor, hold on.
I've had enough. I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT standing up here. And the last person in one of these debates, Brett, who stood in the middle of the stage and said, "What's a skinny guy with an odd last name doing up here?" was Barack Obama, and I'm afraid we're dealing with the same type of amateur standing on stage tonight.
And that was just coming out of the gates. Crime, problems in cities, the border, yes, that came up. Big topics tonight included as well illegal immigration, especially at the U.S.-Mexico border, and how far candidates in some cases may be willing to go to stop it.
The President of the United States has got to use all available powers as Commander-in-Chief to protect our country and to protect the people. So when they're coming across, yes, we're going to use lethal force. Yes, we reserve the right to operate. How many more tens of thousands are we going to let to die?
And we will partner with the Mexican military, and we will hunt down and destroy the cartels that are claiming lives in the United States of America.
Okay, thank you.
Again, a couple of items from the immigration situation in the border, but nothing honestly got more reaction, including a lot of boos from the crowd, than the discussion about former President Donald Trump.
And over a year ago, I said that Donald Trump was morally disqualified from being president again as a result of what happened on January 6th.
I trust the American people. Let them vote. Let them decide. But what they will tell you is that it is time for a new generational conservative leader.
Former president, as you probably know by now, chose not to take part in the debate tonight, but he did appear tonight on social media with former Fox host Tucker Carlson, who asked him why he chose to skip the debate.
I just felt it would be more appropriate not to do the debate. I don't think it's right to do it. If you're leading by 50, 60, I have one problem leading by 70 points, and I'm saying, why am I doing it? And I'm going to have 8 people, 10 people, whoever made the debate, I don't know how many it is, but I'm going to have all these people screaming at me, shouting questions at me, all of which I love answering, I love doing, but it doesn't make sense to do them. So I've taken a pass.
So all of that was tonight, and now looking ahead, former President Trump will have a pretty busy day tomorrow, traveling from New Jersey to Georgia tomorrow to be booked at the Fulton County Jail on charges of tampering with the 2020 election in Georgia. There today, look at this, people swarming. That's former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani at the center of it all as he walked out of the Fulton County Jail. He turned himself in today to face charges of trying to help the former president overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. Giuliani spoke to reporters, denied any wrongdoing, and criticized the Fulton County DA.
This is an assault on our Constitution. Fannie Willis will go down in American history as having conducted one of the worst attacks on the American Constitution ever when this case is dismissed.
At least 6 of the 19 people facing charges in this case, including Sidney Powell, by the way, from Dallas, have now appeared at the Fulton County Jail to be booked. DA Fannie Willis set a deadline of noon Friday this week for defendants to surrender voluntarily. With former President Trump's arrival tomorrow, we know that there for him is an already negotiated $200,000 bond that will be set once he is processed.